What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Eddie Hearn, Bob Arum. Get this. Eddie Hearn blast Bob Arum. He states that Top Rank are completely finished. The ESPN contract gone. Of course, Bob Arum and Oscar De La Hoya have been coming at Eddie Hearn, but Bob took the cake. He said Eddie Hearn is braggadocious. He said that he is a complete joke in the USA. And Eddie Hearn shown footage of Arum, the iPhone, in a subsequent interview. He cheekily held the phone next to his face and asked observers around him to compare him. He says, "Who do you reckon has the bigger future in boxing?" Hearn said in an interview with IFL TV, "Who do you prefer as a promoter? I like braggadocious," Hearn continued. "What I can't understand is that everyone in America thinks I'm a joke. I promote Canelo Alvarez. We just did 50,000 in Guadalajara for the John Ryder fight. I did Canelo Gennady Triple G Golovkin last year. I did Canelo versus Dimitri Bivol at light heavyweight. We sold out Madison Square Garden with Katie Taylor." Hearn took the Arum to task for the reported tepid pay-per-view sales generated from the undisputed lightweight championship between Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko. And he said, well, it only did 150,000 pay-per-view buys in the United States, which, if true, would be an underwhelming figure. The recent lightweight clash between Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, on the other hand, reportedly generated over 1 million pay-per-view buys. The biggest fight he's done for years and years is Haney Lomachenko, Hearn said, and it did 150,000 pay-per-view buys. Top Rank have no big fights. Let me ask you a question. What's the last big fight that Top Rank done? Who can answer that question? It's not even a big fight. It did 150,000 pay-per-view buys. At the moment, we're stuck on this. You've got Teofimo Lopez against Josh Taylor in the theater in Madison Square Garden, and they can't even sell it out. It's got 4,000 seats. Top Rank are completely finished. Bob Arum calls me a joke, braggadocious. It's dumb. Over. End of story. ESPN contract gone. Those are the words of Eddie Hearn, and let me counterpunch. Eddie is doing what Eddie's doing. Eddie has Joshua, which is kind of in limbo. Eddie has also Canelo, which Canelo is looking like his way out. Oscar De La Hoya, he had Canelo. He has Jaime Munguia, Deverenchenko. What else does he really have going right now? Bob Arum had Devin Haney, Lomachenko. Camboso's Devin Haney, 1 and 2. He does have Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor. To me, I think these guys need to work together to become something again, to make boxing what it is. I don't care who's bigger or better. I can say this. Eddie Hearn is younger. And Bob Arum seems like he's not going to go anywhere until he drops dead. Okay? I think that these guys shooting at each other, it just shows you that, the competition is alive and well. But the question does ask yourself, where is the contract of ESPN? Because without ESPN, where would Top Rank be? You mostly see ESPN Top Rank together, just like you see PBC Showtime or PBC Fox. Premier Boxing Champions that's the actual boxing company. And Showtime and PBC, and, they are the actual networks, and Fox as well. So they are the networks. Premier Boxing Champions, so you got Showtime and you got Fox. So those are the networks. So you're like, okay, well, what happens to ESPN, Top Rank without ESPN? So, it's a good question. What are they going to do? If their contract is gone, if that's true, it's going to be a sad day in boxing, because I look at boxing like this. Whatever network you have that contributes to boxing, I'm all in. Unless that network, unless that promotional company, that shows on that network is not producing good fights. And what's better is than to bicker back and forth. How about this, Oscar De La Hoya, Eddie Hearn, Bob Arum? How about you guys come together and give us the best fights? Counterpunch. Instead of shitting on one another and saying who's better, because even Eddie Hearn, looks like everyone's coming to an end of everything else. Right? I mean, there's no other stars that are really generated because nobody's really focusing on the newer blood. The Atomas and the Jared Andersons and the Ali Walshes and, what I mean? These guys that really need to be promoted the right way. And I don't see that happening. Because even Hearn could say, yeah, I got Canelo, I got Joshua, I got Taylor. Well, okay, both of those guys, Joshua and Canelo, are both in their 30s. They're both filthy rich. They both can say tomorrow, you know what? I'm giving this up. Canelo could say, bye-bye, no more baby for you guys. I am finished. Anthony Joshua can do the same exact thing. I'm just going to work on my physique. I'm done with boxing. I've gave it all I'm going to give it. It's over, yeah? That's it. Katie Taylor could say the same thing. Right? So, I mean, just like that, you're only good as the people you promote. So I suggest these guys promote each other instead of going back and forth to see who's a joke or not. They're all credible, or they all been credible at certain times. Oscar De La Hoya, Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, all together. So why shit on one another? That's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.